Yep, Shelmerston's a smashing place. I'm lucky to call it home. Ah, the bench. Yeah, this is, it's my bench. Yeah, the museum paid for it because I was the curator there. Yeah, and they did that to remember me because, oh yes, I am dead.
I Am Dead is an indie adventure game from Hollow Ponds and Annapurna Interactive, and it was released in October of last year for Windows and Switch, and it was just released today for PlayStation and Xbox. This game is about a character named Morris Lupton, who is the curator of a museum on an island called Shelmerston. When this game starts out, we learn that Morris is in fact dead on this island, and while he's looking around his museum, he hears the familiar bark of his dog Sparky, who he's been sorely missing while in the afterlife. She reunites with him in the form of a ghost to tell him that this island is about to be destroyed unless they find a new custodian to take over for the current one. And so they go out on a quest to find a candidate good enough to take on this extremely important role. This isn't a game that was on my radar at all, and I didn't find out about it until just today when I was looking at new games in the PlayStation Store, and I was immediately interested in it when I saw the title of it alone, but of course even more so when I saw who was behind it. I haven't played any other games from Hollow Ponds, but the track record that Annapurna Interactive has now for indie games is almost unmatched. You can almost expect any game from them to be extremely creative and unique, and this game is no different. The gameplay in particular in this game really was so much different than anything I had seen before. So basically, in order to find out if these people can be the new custodian, you have to go around the map and look for people or creatures who have memories of them that give insights into the kind of people that they really were, and also to find out about a precious item that you're also going to have to find, and you do this over and over again throughout the game. And that's essentially the entirety of what you do here. And yeah, that might sound a bit simple, but where you can get lost in this game is just how much of it is explorable. Nearly everything in this game can kind of be opened up in a certain sense, and you can look deeper into them to see if there's anything hidden within them, and this was actually a lot more engaging than it might look like. What helps with that a lot though is just how gorgeous everything in this game is too. It's all done in a really beautiful art style, and it was like getting to step inside of an illustrated novel and just getting to go wherever you want to and see what's going on in the bushes way back at the edge of the map, or see what everybody had in their bags and suitcases, and that might be a little strange, but it was really fun to do. And a huge part of this game is also done with dialogue and the incredible voice performances, especially from the main actor here who was voicing Morris. He had so much enthusiasm for everything, and he just brought such a positive, bright energy to this game. I noticed that this game has been put into the puzzle genre, and I can understand why, because it's more of a puzzle game than something like a walking sim or any kind of first or third person adventure game. You're hardly ever looking from the usual perspective of a character that you might be used to, and more so from an overseer's perspective on everything as you pan all around the map from side to side or up and down. I guess in a way it's also more of a point and click adventure game because that is essentially what you're doing, but it does feel a lot more substantial than that. There are some really good themes and discussions within this game between Morris and Sparky, and also within all of the memories that touch on life and death and the power of being a good person and the power of connections with others, and I really just loved the overall message that the game was telling, and that really superseded any of my feelings that I might have had about the gameplay because it did start to get a little repetitive after a while, but it is a short enough game, I would say around 3 hours or so, and maybe even shorter if you don't take the time to go through all of the smaller details and some of the extra tasks that are given to you. And so I thought it was actually the perfect length to never get too boring. I was also really invested in finding out what would happen by the end of the game, so I never thought about putting it down. And it also has an excellent soundtrack playing throughout the entire thing, and that added on to it too. This was just a very enjoyable game through and through. It was pleasant and relaxing and definitely quirky, but it has such a positive spirit to it that you can't help but feel positive while playing it too. And that might be a surprising thing when you do see the title of this game. However, as much as I enjoyed it, I don't think this one will be overwhelmingly loved by everybody. This has to be something that is up your alley if you want to try it out, because I'm sure this will be pretty boring for some who aren't interested in this kind of gameplay, and I completely understand that. It's got a very slow pace to it too, so I would just make sure that this is your kind of game before taking the plunge and checking this one out. This is going for $19.99 on the PlayStation Store, so I'm assuming that's what it is everywhere, but if you can find it for anything less than that, I would say that this is worth it. I'm actually pretty close now to having having played every Annapurna Interactive game that they've published, so maybe look out for a few more reviews of their games because I want to get through all of them, especially Outer Wilds. That's kind of the big one that I haven't gotten to yet, so I'm really looking forward to that one. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're doing well out there wherever you are, and I hope you come back for the next one. So until then, everybody, take care.